Hey everybody, it's Saturday, September 6th. Saturday, September 6th, 12:16 p.m. in California. I just wanted to jump on here and make a quick video about IXHL. IXHL. I love all of the talk about me on Stock Twits and Reddit. People using my name everywhere. It's great. Thank you so much. It's hilarious. One of the comments about was that I'm losing my mind on Twitter. And sure, okay, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just wanted to jump on here and say that obviously, like I always say, it's never financial advice, right? We're talking about IXHL. My last video on YouTube was a video about how there's no rug pull, right? And we have nothing to be afraid of. And then the stock price continued to plummet day after day after day after day since then, right? So this is my opinion, right? I know that everyone deals with loss and grief and fear in a different way. I certainly am not the best at it. I'm still suffering from cognitive distortion and anxiety and panic and stuff like that from my past. That said, I'm not apologizing for anything that I've said. I really believe that we have no reason to trust the CEO is not diluting the stock. In my opinion, on August 22nd, the PR came out for the $20 million worth of shares that they would repurchase, right? Since then, we have yet to see that happening. You don't see it on level 2. You don't see it anywhere. You don't see anything remotely close to any kind of activity that shares were being repurchased. And if so look at level 2. Look at the charts for the last few weeks. You don't see it. August 26th, 4 days later, 4:30 in the morning, the company releases PR that says the general anxiety drug phase 2 results were amazing, mind-blowing, etc. And on that day, basically right there at that moment, what I did was I doubled my position. I added 22,500 shares, which is, to be quite honest, the stupidest thing you could do. Don't ever do that. Obviously, I paid for it. Well, I didn't pay for it because I didn't sell. I still hold all my shares. I have 45,000 shares, right? But what I learned, and it took me days to learn this lesson, was never size in all at once without a stop loss, and always protect the downside. I was way too overconfident, and I didn't have a stop loss. And to make a move that big without a stop loss was just stupid. And it took days of meditating and praying and watching other famous investors videos on the psychology of trading to realize that the only person that's responsible for what happened with my portfolio is me. I jumped in thinking, oh my God, it's 4:30 in the morning, and now they have another drug that is not only efficacious but has zero suicidal effects. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just all in, and I just threw all my money into it, and that was the stupidest thing that anyone could ever do. However, I still hold 45,000 shares in one of the best setups ever, and I still believe that. Now, that said, let's get back to what I also think. So 8/22, we had PR of a 20 million share repurchase program, which means that that's standard omission. So they're admitting or they're omitting that they have the right to do this, right? So they're filing that paperwork so so that no one can go back and say, hey, you didn't notify shareholders that you're doing that share repurchase. It doesn't mean they have to do it now, or they don't have to do it anytime. They will have to file and make an SEC filing when it's complete, sure, or not even when it's complete, when they use it, right? Okay, so 8/22, that PR came out. 4 days later, we get the PR for the general anxiety drug phase 2 results, and of course, what happens? People like me, right? And I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of people like me that day and that morning. jumped in and threw the bank at it, right? Take my wallet, right? General anxiety drug phase 2. Now we have a second drug that lets everyone's already excited about the first OSA, obstructive sleep apnea drug. Second drug, threw my wallet at it. Thought I was going to average up into a huge spike. And what happened? Okay, this is where it begins my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion. And I've also like turned the comments off on YouTube and not on TikTok. So if you want to come in and rage out on me on TikTok, but I refuse to argue with people about anything. You know, it's my channel. I'm going to say what I want to say. It's my opinion. I hope that this helps someone. It's just a perspective. So you know, I think the smallest people in the world are people that that try to attack people online, like this online bullying stuff, and you know, posting my name on stock twits and saying that I'm having a meltdown and all this ridiculous stuff. Listen, don't worry about me, okay? I'm doing fine. I'm not having a meltdown, okay? I'm doing really, really well. I don't think there's anything I could possibly ask for in this world. I've already got it. But thank you. So, okay, so 822, PR, 20 million share repurchase. 826, August 26, PR, GAD, phase 2 results, dumps, 13 million shares. In my opinion, 10 million to 13 million shares a day. I probably have these numbers wrong, but I certainly believe that the company knew exactly what they were doing. They did what's called a rope-a-dope. And if you guys are young, you don't know what a rope-a-dope is. A rope-a-dope is when I go this way, but I really go that way, right? So I believe the company did this. This is what I believe Joel has done. This is what all the Australian investors on the Reddit site, on that Inconnex Reddit site have been telling us since April, that he's going to do this. This is what he does. This is what he does. He also has a massive salary, right? He's also got all those doctors to pay. So I'm almost 100% certain this is what he's doing. Not only that, I would do the exact same thing because he doesn't have to report to us. He has $100 million at the market available for him to use at will whenever he wants, right? And what you guys have wrong, in my opinion, is you're all saying, oh, he said he wouldn't do it anymore. He said the market is not going to be used. No, he did not say that. He said that they would be using it from time to time at will. They're saying they have the right to use it whenever they want. Okay. So what I think happened, and I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope it's the market maker and the evil market maker, which I've been the one creating that narrative. It's the evil market maker, Citadel, Jane Street. They're shorting the synthetic shares, the dark pools. It's true, right? I think the two of them are playing each other, right? You have Joel and market maker. I don't know which one's more, mischievous, right? But again, let me just finish the theory. So they released the PR for their general anxiety results, and we perceive that it's a sell the news, right? So we perceive it's a sell the news because the stock goes up to 90 cents. I make like $8,000 in 10 minutes on paper. And then all of a sudden, there's a massive crater down, and then 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 down. And it hasn't stopped going down since then. Okay. So just FYI, for anybody who's new, this is exactly what was happening when they raised the first 50 million. And it was also this psychological weirdo battle between like the perception that the stock was either being suppressed and manipulated, or that the market was taking place. And this is like history repeating itself, by the way. So this is how the $50 million was raised. Nobody knew whether it was the market maker manipulating and synthetic and naked shorting, or whether it was an actual 50 million, right? But then what happened, guys? Then they released that phase 2 8K,